It is bowl season. I'm going to go over Michigan's 4 most likely bowl destinations, even throw out a teaser of what teams they could potentially play in each of these games. My number 1 most likely bowl destination for Jim Harbaugh's Wolverines is the Citrus Bowl, folks. Been to the Citrus Bowl once before, and there's a really funny little clause in the Citrus Bowl. It says 5 Big Ten teams must play in it over the 6-year contract that we believe is expiring. This is the 6th year of the current Citrus Bowl contract. But Big Ten didn't send a team to the Citrus Bowl in 16 or the 17 season, so who knows? Could Michigan go a second time? I think they can. I think the rules just aren't as clear, but I do think that with the brand that Michigan is, the fact they've been there in what will be 4 full calendar years, and that Michigan always travels well to Florida, I think the Citrus Bowl is the most likely destination. And who could they play in the Citrus Bowl? You'll see here at the bottom of your screen. It's going to be Auburn, in my opinion, or Alabama. I certainly hope, because Auburn beat Alabama, they drop Bama down another rung to maybe the Outback Bowl against, I don't know, whoever, Wisconsin, something like that, maybe Minnesota. Because I think Alabama, it's a no-win situation facing them. I want to see Michigan play Auburn. It's a team that's played a really strong schedule, top 2 schedule in the country, strictest schedule, and they played very well against teams like, of course, Alabama, LSU, Georgia, teams like that. So the Big Ten has their bowl affiliations, the College Football Playoff, fairly confident Ohio State will get in there. And then the Rose Bowl's got a decision to make. Do they take a 3-loss Wisconsin potentially, or a couple of 2-loss teams in Penn State or Minnesota? And then where does that leave Michigan? Are they the 4th option? Some people say maybe Iowa could jump up there. So Rose Bowl, Citrus Bowl, Outback Bowl, Holiday Bowl. I've seen a lot of people project too, which means several bowl games would pass up on Michigan. And then you've got the Gator Bowl, Pinstripe, the Red Box Bowl, and then the Michigan State Invitational, the Quick Lane Bowl. That's the one in Detroit, Michigan, right? I wouldn't know. I don't think about bowl games like that. This is Michigan we're talking about, folks. But those are the Big Ten's bowl affiliations. If it's your first time watching the Michigan Football Report, I want to give you guys a quick just lowdown on what we offer. We've got daily Michigan football videos. We talk about the latest rumors and news about the Michigan football program, injuries, little recruiting, stuff the blog boys won't talk about, and then post-game live chat, and we take your questions on social media, put them right here on the show. So make sure to subscribe to the Michigan Football Report, youtube.com/MichiganTV. But you're already here watching, just press that subscribe button, and you'll know every time we have a new video. I want to ask you guys this question. We introduced the new folks, but everybody, who or what is your go-to source for Michigan football information? We're trying to do our best to make sure it's a no-brainer that it's the Michigan Football Report, but I know there's other options out there. So the what is, I just go on Facebook, and whenever it tells me about Michigan football, that could be your answer. Or the who, I like Midge Album, the famed Michigan football reporter. So answer below in the comment section. Really interested to know who you guys are going to for information. Might get an ad break here, so while you wait for that ad break, go ahead and answer it below. Let's keep talking about Michigan football possible bowl games. Number 2 in the list, I've got the Outback Bowl, which technically is the number 3 bowl in the Big Ten hierarchy, right? So Outback Bowl, Michigan's no stranger to the Outback Bowl over the last 30 years or so. We all remember those Outback Bowls. I think the possible opponents are potentially vast. It's an SEC Big Ten matchup. I think it potentially could be maybe the Tennessee Volunteers. Now, a lot of things would have to kind of break unexpectedly. I think the SEC probably has to get 2 playoff teams in this scenario, and then a couple other things got to go a little less than expected for Tennessee to jump up there. They're probably the 5th or 6th best SEC team in their bowl pecking order, but definitely a possibility, though not a likely one. How about Auburn? I think this is certainly an interesting one, potentially the most likely, or Alabama. I think it's going to come down to what these 2 bowl games, the Citrus and the Outback, who do they want to make a play at? The Citrus is the first chance. Do they want a depleted Alabama team that maybe has a lot of apathetic fans coming out of that Auburn loss, or are they going to reward an Auburn team that's lost 3 games but beat Alabama and probably has more to look forward to with the current guys on their roster, with a true freshman quarterback in Bo Nix? Can they come in and beat a top 15 Michigan team? I think that has a lot more intrigue. So I think the Outback Bowl is the number 2 option. If they're in there, it is likely, it's Auburn, Alabama, Tennessee. You better make sure you guys have the latest sale items for Michigan football gear this holiday season. So we're showing you 1, 2, 3 items every single show to make sure you guys never pay full price, especially during the holiday season. We've got this number 4 Michigan Jordan brand. By the way, I joked last week about the guy with the Walmart Michigan across the top that they've never actually worn. I saw like 10 of those in my section alone on Saturday. So I don't know why those are sold, but these are the real things, the ones the players wear. Chatsports.com/blue4, number 4 jersey. Make it pretty easy. Blue 4, put it down in the comment section if you want to go click the link after watching this, or scroll down there right now. How about this bad boy? Dad, if you're watching, I got you this for Christmas. We guessed in the size, but nevertheless, on sale right now. 25% off. Chatsports.com/Michigan19. Why Michigan 19? This is kind of like the official sweatshirt, the one Harbaugh's wore. He wore this version and another throughout this season. He got rid of the tiny little M and Jordan guy uniform he's had the last few years. And finally, the Michigan football Nike shoes. These bad boys just dropped from like $130 down to $100. You supply the 16-year-old son of yours with one of these for Christmas morning. He's going to be owning the playground in the snowy, wintry Michigan winter. So chatsports.com/blue shoes. We make it easy for you, or go down in the comment section. We'll have all the links there to make it easy to buy and save this holiday season. Number 3 is the Holiday Bowl. For this scenario to happen, I think a couple things would have to go down, right? It means that Michigan gets passed over by, obviously, Wisconsin, Penn State, Minnesota, and depending on how some things shakes out, it might mean that Iowa got chosen ahead of them, although that kind of seems unlikely. But the Holiday Bowl, I've got as number 3. Possible opponents being Washington and USC in that bowl game. I don't want to see anything to do with Washington because it's kind of a no-win situation for this school, because they get to play Michigan again at home to start next season. So we'll have back-to-back games against Washington, and your coach is going out, Chris Peterson. His final game was Washington coaches. Their quarterback, Jacob Eason, might be his final game. So they're going to have the geographical advantage. They'll certainly be playing for their coach to get him, send him out on a win. I don't think there's any upside there. Then Michigan's got to go right back to Washington to start the season next year. So you could see Holiday Bowl against Washington. Could see this one. I'd be interested in this one if Michigan drops down to about the 5th spot, 6th spot, whatever it is, on the bowl selection for the Big Ten. Is playing USC. They had a better year, I think, than it was trending for a while. Ended up 8-4, only 2 losses in conference, and they beat Michigan quite a few times in bowl games, as you see in the bottom of your screen. 6 of the last 7 times these teams have faced off in a bowl game, all Rose Bowls, going back to the 70s. USC has beat Michigan 6 to 7 times. The last time Michigan won one of those Rose Bowls, and the only in that 7-game stretch, was after the '88 season. If you guys like me, you're going to be glued to your TV watching college football bowl games. Probably start, when do I start, Tom? 2 weeks from now, a week, like the 17th or something like that. You're less than 2 weeks away from bowl season getting started. Use BetDSI to put some money down on all the best bowl games this college football season. Promo code is GoBlue, chatsports.com/bet. We've got the best deposit bonus in the game, 120% deposit. Great math for you guys. You put in 100, give an extra $120. Put in 2, an extra $240. Don't just put money in, lose, and not have a little bit of a bonus money to have a cushion in case you get a few of those picks wrong to start out. Chatsports.com/bet. Want to know from you guys, though, have you ever been to a Michigan football bowl game? People are down on bowl games the last few years. Michigan's lost 3. Really, the last 2 years have kind of not even shown up. It's been pretty embarrassing. I always loved bowl games growing up. I always like seeing Michigan in them. I always hope for the best and love when they won those games. A lot of great memories. So type Y if yes, type N for no if you've been to a Michigan football bowl game. You see, they played, guys, all those are in Florida, right? I guess the Peaches in Atlanta. They played in the South, the Florida or Georgia, the last 4 years under Jim Harbaugh after a big-time 41-7 win against Florida in year 1. 3 straight losses. So if you've been to a bowl game, type Y below in the comments. If you haven't, type N, and maybe this is the year for you. Take the fam down to a bowl game if it's geographically advantageous for you to do so. How about the Gator Bowl? I still have some strong bad memories from the Gator Bowl of when Rich Rodriguez, when he was basically in month-long purgatory. He was fired, but nobody told him after the 2010 season, and Michigan showed up against a really bad Mississippi team, like a 7-5 Mississippi team, or Mississippi State, and got beat 52-10. and that team didn't show up in the bowl game either. So the Gator Bowl, it's another level back from, I think, the Citrus and the Outback. You have some prestige. You end up in the holiday of the Gator. Not feeling too good about how the Bulls think about this Michigan team and what's always in consideration, how good they're going to travel, how well that they'll show up for your bowl game. Possible opponents, though, Tennessee, Kentucky, Texas A&M. As you see, you're getting down there to like the 5th and 6th, depending on how the college football playoff shakes up. 5th, 6th, 7th SEC teams. Not one I don't think anybody's going to get excited for. Michigan drops to the Gator Bowl, ends up playing Kentucky, ends up playing Texas A&M. I think you have a lot of apathy from the alumni, from the fans, certainly from the coaches and players. You might get Tennessee, as we mentioned on our last show, in that bowl game. I would be okay with that one. You have a little bit of revenge on Philip Fulmer. They're 1-0 against Michigan all time in the games they've played. So you've got Citrus, you've got Outback. I think those are the most two likely. If for some reason they don't like Michigan, drop back to the Holiday Bowl, and the Gator Bowl is one where I think every one of those other bowl games, besides Michigan, is not the team they want to see. Doesn't trust that the fan base will travel this bowl season. I want to make sure you guys get the hookup of the holiday season on Michigan football gear. They've got hundreds of items. Hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, up to 50% off. Chatsports.com/blue. Lands you on the sale page. You pick which items, what sizes you want to get hooked up with this holiday season. My favorite item, the one I purchased, is the Harbaugh hoodie. Chatsports.com/Michigan19. This one's normally like $70, folks. It's like, what is it, $45, whatever it is now. It's a deal and a half. So go to chatsports.com/Michigan19 to get the Harbaugh hoodie for someone this holiday season. All right, those were our likely bowl games. If you want to see our bowl game opponents, we've got it right for you here. Our post-game thoughts following the Ohio State loss from Sunday. If you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe to the Michigan Football Report. Click this button. Get us to 6,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Go Blue.